talking about rifts within the left, and moreover, in this case, it's going to be rifts within the progressive left. So, a while back, it's a long time. Now that I'm looking at it, it was something like 6, 7, 8 months ago. But we had talked about Sane Progressive, basically beefing with the Justice Democrats, the Young Turks, Kyle Kalinske, and Bernie Sanders, and now she has gone after Jimmy Dore. Now this is crazy, okay? Because to me, she really doesn't like Bernie Sanders, which is crazy. And to her credit, of course, she said she was an avid Bernie supporter and someone who actually, she really did a lot to try to get Bernie elected. She was actually very active, but I think that this is where it goes a bit too far. So Draft Bernie is it's something that's even further to the left of Justice Democrats, because JD says, hey, we're going to reform the Democratic Party because third parties are they are disproportionately affected, and it's much harder for them to be able to win elections, and therefore we are going to rather reform the Democratic Party because then we can actually win, and it will actually be possible to win. But Draft Bernie says, no, the Democrats are far gone, and we need to go further left, and we need to ditch the Democratic Party. Now, what that consists of basically is going much further left than the Justice Democrats can, because they're still sticking with the regular Democratic Party. And people who are really further left, or just have a lot of hopes, have put their chips into the Draft Bernie movement. And Jimmy Dore is one of them. So, and anybody who's in Draft Bernie is very respectable. It's a great movement. And she goes after Jimmy Dore for this, so check it out here.
Really surreal. In the light of this is commentators who are still holding on to Bernie Sanders, despite his open betrayal to his constituents, as he refused to fight the battle necessary to win the war in real time, which was the election integrity. Okay. Now, we have had all of these social media commentators throwing temper tantrums about the DNC fraud and the corruption. We have had many of these commentators talking about how ridiculous the Russia lie is. And now they are leading the effort to draft the person who has been hired to lie to the American people to obfuscate the fraud and the corruption of the Democratic Party. So Jimmy Dore, I'm seeing this, and I'm looking the People's Convergence Conference. And their featured event is a town hall to draft Bernie Sanders. Featured event of the People's Convergence Summit. The featured event will be the Draft Bernie Town Hall, which Jimmy Dore is going to be a moderator of, to which leading intellectuals Dr. Cornel West and Draft Bernie founder Nick Brana invite Bernie Sanders on Democracy Now! In April. Okay, I've always been a fan of Cornel West. If anybody ever saw my interview with him, they knew I was absolutely guinea. I don't support Cornel West on this. I don't understand how you can be talking about trying to be a person of peace and then trying to draft a person who is actively lying to perpetuate the disinformation to sell the American citizens on war. I do not get it, and I do not stand with it, and I don't care if Dr. Cornel West, who is somebody who I have really respected, is going to sell this shit. I'm not going to align with it, because the premise is always the same. Believe this, it's silly. And I really don't go along with this kind of bullshit. It's not going to work, and it is going to drain your energy to, again, be being put under the umbrella organizations around a politician and parties. Revolution around a politician is a flat-out dumb idea. You don't have revolutions around any individual person.
It's truly remarkable, isn't it? I mean, you have so many rifts and factions within parties and ideologies. In this case, you have the left wing or the Democrats or whatever you want to call it, and then you have the progressive wing versus the corporate wing. The corporate wing, you put that aside. Then you have the progressive wing, and you have not as far left, you have the Justice Democrats. Then a little further left, you have the Draft Bernie movement. And then you have somebody like Sane Progressive who doesn't even like Bernie Sanders, who really is mad at Bernie Sanders. And I want to be clear here. I'm not against holding Bernie Sanders accountable, because I do think that there are areas where we can criticize him, because no politician is above scrutiny and no politician is God by any means, shape, or form. But it gets to a point where it almost becomes irrational, or it becomes unreasonable or unrealistic. So if you are not on board with Draft Bernie, which I think is the chance of Draft Bernie winning is very small, then you're just out of the loop. And this is really crazy. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know down below. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.